Have you ever pondered the reflection of time and how everything passes? The ultimate king and conqueror in the world in which we live is time. Everybody's forgotten. Kings fall to time. Nations, kingdoms, people of prestige, fame, fortune, artists, philosophers, everybody and everything falls to time. And the Lord is the arbiter of time, for he lives on the outside of time and space. So when you look at the vanity of Ecclesiastes and how the author speaks about it, now you have Proverbs that tend to lift you up, but the wisdom of Ecclesiastes, giving you a real look at the life in which we live in, is interesting if you can stomach it, because it talks about hevel, and hevel in Hebrew is like a vapor. You're always grasping for the next thing. You're always trying to exalt what have you. A lot of people today, it's more about exalting themselves, their brands, exalting anything that they find that's important to them. That can be a lot of things. Depends on people's value system and the vices in which they carry. So I was just thinking about that while listening to Ecclesiastes, that time is the ultimate conqueror, and the Lord is the conqueror of time for which he has created. And in the end of the book of Ecclesiastes, if you really pay attention to its wisdom and its perspective, that nothing is new under the sun, and anything here on earth is like chasing after the wind, you start to realize that the only thing that really matters is the Lord, and loving the Lord through which you can, and following his commandments to the best of your ability. It doesn't mean you're going to trip, but if you trip and you are a believer, well, you just trip forward. It's just something that kind of popped into my head, and I felt like I wanted to share it. And maybe this can put some perspective in your life when you are too busy looking to be seen, when you really need to take a step back and ask yourself, are you in harmony with time? Meaning like your age, or just in time in general? Or are you always in a fight against it? Because I'll tell you right now, if you're in a fight against time, especially through vanity, how you look, color in your hair, and I don't mean just, taking care of yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a little merit to taking care of yourself and being healthy, of course, but you don't want to focus too much on that. But are you in harmony with time, or are you fighting against it every day? I find myself asking that question. Are you in harmony with time? Because in the end, it wins. So is it best to fight against it, even though the inevitable is going to be? Or should you just find harmony with it and dance to the tune in which it gives? Just something to think about.